Welcome to the September 11th, 2023 Advance Report for McGowan Group clients and NetWorthRadio.com listeners. I'm Spencer McGowan, your financial weatherman, President, McGowan Group Wealth Management, a team of 10, the team that cares, and serving affluent families right here from the Crescent in Dallas. It is time to upgrade your plan. The title of this week's program, 2026. We're preparing portfolios for the next 3 years, and our model portfolios implemented for each client across the board are constructed by the investment committee at McGowan Group Wealth Management. This broadcast is proof we love our clients because it's designed to help you make great decisions for long-term investments and high cash flow. Now, we're going to give you a read in this fast-paced tour of the global financial markets. We're going to start with the Dow this week, and there's some amazing things that are happening in the market right now, which may not hit the financial media. That's why you tune in here. This is the Dow year to date. That's a plus 4.5% at about 34,600 at the close of the week, down 3% from the July 31st peak. So you've kind of been under pressure here. But I've got great news on companies reaching all-time new highs, and specifically one category that goes with it. Notice this pattern. This is the bank meltdown where the 4 California venture capital banks hit the skids because venture capital dried up. Well, and it turns out that was regional, much like the Texas banking crisis back in 1990. Here, you can see a nice uptrend that's still, right? We're still in that uptrend, and apparently we could get a systemic shock that could take that away, but that's a good read on the current market. When people are making new all-time highs or categories, it tells you something. Now here is GDP for the week, all right? 5.6%, that's September 6th. All the learned economists were predicting near a recession. This is why we watch this monitor. Atlanta Fed goes nationwide. They gather up all the data every week from across the nation, and they estimate GDP, and they've been spot on the last 6 quarters when the economists were saying, oh, it's going to be a recession, it's going to be bad. Well, that helps people make bad decisions, where the Atlanta Fed was telling the real story, boots on the ground every week, and it's free. Just Atlanta Fed, real GDP now. Here, who's making new highs? We could see the Dow's down about 1,000 from this year's top on July 31st, but some companies, and we're getting a read on these companies, why would Dell spike so much? It was a great report that they had, but that's a huge spike in Dell Computer, Austin-based Dell. Now, they were 3 to 5 times earnings at the end of the year, and earnings have started to grow. So they were a low multiple. If you pay 5 times cash flow or 5 times earnings, then you've got an asset that is clocking along at a 20% earnings yield or cash flow yield. That's pretty strong. And that's why Warren Buffett went to Japan to buy the 5 so-called big trading houses like Mitsubishi. He negotiated to put equity in, and he was doing it at 7 times earnings for the companies in Japan. That story tells you the low multiples are highly attractive to long-term investors like Warren Buffett. What's this? This is Walmart. That's an all-time new high for Walmart as well. That's consistent with the fact that the economy is much stronger than expected. Here, this is Eli Lilly. So, this is when their drug Mounjaro was announced. They've got a great line of products. They're probably the best of class for the drug stocks, our medical dividend companies. Well, what did they do? They have a diabetes drug that reduces fat, and then there was a study that showed if you're not as fat, you're less likely to have a heart attack. And it's selling like hotcakes. Novo Nordisk did the first one. This is actually West Texas Intermediate crude. Novo Nordisk was the other company with Ozempic the other fat-reducing drugs. So those are hot and investors are climbing in, and I believe Novo Nordisk is a better bargain than Lilly. Not a recommendation for your portfolio till you contact us at networthradio.com. Set up your time for a brainstorming session. Here we've got Eli Lilly. This is West Texas Intermediate crude. The other all-time new highs this week were actually in the petroleum industry. Marathon Petroleum, Phillips 66, and Houston-based Hess all hit all-time new highs. This is West Texas Intermediate crude oil all the way back to 2018. So this is 5 years. Now, here in the pandemic, oil went to minus 40 because all the storage filled up because nobody could go anywhere. Look at that. Now, it reached 130 at the invasion. That is a $170 swing right there. Settled back down, right? You had the Strategic Petroleum Reserve releases before the election, the midterm election. Now we're starting to climb. Why? United States oil inventories have been declining substantially for weeks, and they're going to have to restock those inventories. But $87 a barrel. How high could it go? Well, there are predictions from 90. Some predictions are as high as 250 in the current environment. This is 147. It was 2007. Huge spike. At this time, we thought we were going to be importing liquid natural gas. Shale revolution took hold, and this is the crash of 2008. Shale revolution took hold and oversupplied the market. Typically, it's a 6 to 8 year cycle for energy infrastructure until they oversupply the market with too much in expansion. Well, and that's what happened here. There's the pandemic. If you inflation adjust that 147 a barrel, that's $250 inflation adjusted if we went back to the old peak. Not saying that's going to happen, but I'm saying inflation adjusted, that number would be as high as $250. So the energy infrastructure side of the portfolio, medical dividends, and global high yield. I'm going to cover more about global high yield in next week's YouTube McGowan Group. Be sure to subscribe so you get the alerts. And if there's fast breaking important news in the financial markets, you'll get a special alert. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to Net Worth Media today. And our efforts over the past 2 decades to educate clients and help clients make great decisions, that's the reason that we're here at YouTube McGowan Group, Apple Podcasts, Net Worth Radio, and networthradio.com. The Net Worth Media effort is designed to help you make great decisions and address value at risk of loss, fluctuation in the markets. Remember, if we talk about a security, doesn't make it a recommendation until you come down and get a plan from McGowan Group Asset Management, the team that cares. You can set a Zoom meeting or an in-office meeting at the Crescent, and we'll give you a written plan that encompasses what we believe to be the best allocations. This is a team of 10 devoted to you. That includes the research that you see each week from Reuters, from Bloomberg, and from the best sources. We always post links at networthradio.com for what we believe can help you make great decisions, the research that comes up. Now, the Net Worth Media effort is also designed to address cycles in the market, value at risk of loss. At networthradio.com, you can get the ADV form that shows, yes, we're a fiduciary, a registered investment advisor. It covers the costs of hiring our team to help you in the future ahead. It really helps to have an expert team on your side that you can reach by phone, email, and of course, a team that's here for you every week to address what's going on in the markets, because anxiety can often lead investors to make decisions that are either dangerous, chasing things, or selling things when they shouldn't. And that's a big part of our planning effort at McGowan Group Asset Management. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to serving you and your family in the years ahead.